is trying to get back on terms with him. He's got past Magnussen as well. So that's now the battle for 4th and 5th going down to the inner loop. Derani defends to the inside. Magnussen goes to the left. Can't get that one done. And ahead of them is Felipe Albuquerque. All three of them in the outer loop together. Oh my goodness. Take a breath with 14, call it 15 minutes to go. 2.5 seconds at the front of the field for Tincknell. Nothing at all between 3rd, 4th and 5th. Albuquerque, Derani and Magnussen. In LMP2, it's 5 seconds between Nunes and Mikkel Jensen. Jensen took a second out of Nunes last time around, though, in that battle, and they are on the same lap. GT Le Mans. It is Garcia for Corvette number 3, the yellow car, by 3.5 seconds. Tandy still holding on somehow to 3rd place by the skin of his teeth, or if you prefer, 1/10 of a second. Felipe Fraga has got Colin Brown 0.3 of a second behind him for the lead in LMP3, and Bill Oberlin has got 4 seconds on Paul Miller Racing's Brian Sellers. But Shea Adam, that story might not be over in GT Daytona.
At 1:43 in the afternoon, it was the final warning issued for the number 96 Turner Motorsport BMW. I commented on that because Aidan Reed was behind the wheel at the time. Race Control has just said over the IM system, hey, Turner, check your private IMs. Could this be Turner Motorsport getting a drive-through penalty for excessive abuse of track limits? We've got 13.5 minutes to go in this race, and it is so important that Bill Oberlin does not go off at turn 1, turn 8, or turn 10. And with faster cars lapping, it's harder to keep it on the line.
And now we've got 4 cars in the mix. Jeremy Shaw for 3rd place behind Felipe Albuquerque. The number 10 holds it at the moment, but then pretty much everybody else other than Loic Duval is in with a shout.
Yeah, that's right. I think Kamui Kobayashi there, got a little bit of traffic in the early part of the slap, so dropped back just a little bit, but you're still not far out of it, and we know how much of a charger Kamui Kobayashi can be, so he's still very sights. Yeah, they had potentially, they thought they had a podium finish at Sebring. Unfortunately, Simon Pagenaud was, well, a minute, I think, over the drive limit time. He drove 4 hours and 1 minute out of 6 consecutive hours during that race. The limit was 4 hours, so they got penalised to put to the whole back of the pack, which was very unfortunate for that team. But it's been a good, strong run here, particularly in the later stages for the number 48 team.
12 minutes to go. And Felipe Albuquerque, for a moment, looks back, and there must have been a moment there as he was looking at his mirrors that he thought he'd dropped Pipo Derani. It's not the case. He's still in there. GT Daytona, that's still very much up for grabs. The Riley number 74 goes through the battle with Fafcar. Lawrence Vantor up into 8th position. He's got Pat Long ahead of him, then Jack Hawksworth, then Daniel Morad. That's up to 5th position, and they're all only 1.5 seconds apart. Not between them, the whole lot. Right up to Daniel Morad and Marcus Paltala in 4th position. Paltala 2.5 seconds away from 3rd. Ross Gunn now 7 seconds away from 2nd place. Brian Sellers, who's 3.5 from Bill Oberlin. And last time around, Ross Gunn did the fastest lap of the race for that Heart of Racing Aston Martin. Whew. And at the LMP3 head of the field, still Colin Brown right with Felipe Fraga. It's dropped away to 0.8 of a second. It was 1.5 the last time I looked, so there is a little bit of fight in Felipe Fraga. He's picked up his pace just a tiny bit, but Colin Brown is fighting back. So all classes have a podium position at least still up for grabs. Down towards turn number 8, and Colin is right with him. There's one car to the NTE Sport. Audi again going through turn 8. Fantastic drive. Here comes the battle for the lead in LMP3 towards the end of the track. The blue and orange number 74 on the front straight. Behind that, it's the white and tangerine car. Cross the line, 1.1 seconds between them this time. LMP2 right together now as well. This is ridiculous. I need two heads and more. Hello, Ziff on Breeble-Brooks. Would you like to come and commentate? We have battles for major positions in all of the classes at the moment. A second and a half. Mikkel Jensen, as I suggested he might be, Jeremy, is catching Tristan Nunes, and he's still got 9.5 minutes to go. We've got time here to have proper finishes in all 5 classes.
Yeah, we certainly have. There's been a tremendous motor race, I think, pretty much from start to finish. And Olivier Pla now, he's certainly on the move. His last 2 laps have been quicker than Harry Tincknell. 1.6 seconds the gap now. 3 laps to go, it was 3.6.
I've just taken a deep breath because I might not get another one. 9 minutes to go. Imsa Radio and TV together live across the US on XM202. If you're driving at the moment and listening on XM, find somewhere to pull over, because this could get very, very loud and exciting indeed in the last few minutes, with major positions, podium positions, championship implications in all 5 classes still to be decided. Fractions of a second between cars that are battling for the win in category. 5 different classes on the circuit at the same time, and we've got 5 proper races at the front of the field. The lead that Harry Tincknell has amassed now has dissipated down to 1 second, as Pla, with newer tyres on one side of the car, let's not forget, is beginning to plan and scheme and build his plan to get back to that lead car. Pla has not got back to Loic Duval, so that hasn't been a factor in trying to put that car under pressure. What he has got in front of him now is a battle for 3rd place in GT Le Mans. He goes past the BMW of Conor de Felipe on the front straight, the red, white and black car. He'll get down the inside of Nick Tandy into turn 1, but Pla will not, and so there's a breathing space again for Harry Tincknell. Pla has to go through in turn 2 and does. So that gap that was 6/10 across the line, Jeremy, eases out just a little bit. Tincknell had to make that move at turn 2 and did. That's given him a tiny bit of space.
Yeah, this is just tremendous. I think they might catch Loic Duval. Looking at the lap times, there was a second and a half quicker last time around, even with a bit of traffic there for well, I guess they both had the traffic, didn't they? But they might catch that number 5 car could be a factor for all the leaders here, with still 7 minutes remaining. That's another, that's 4 laps, and they're only about 3 seconds less than that, I think, behind the number 5 car to put it a lap down. He's not going to want to go a lap down, of course.
No.
He's going to make it easy for anybody.
No, and he's got a championship to run as well. But there's no Cadillac in the fight here. There's no team car. There's no manufacturer allegiance here. So we'll keep an eye on that. But Tincknell at the moment, with 6 minutes left, how canny have they been at Mazda Motorsport and Multimatic? What are the numbers saying? Because now it's down to fuel, I reckon. Fuel and tyres. There's no doubt that Tincknell has the performance. There's no doubt that the Multimatic chassis and the Mazda engine has the performance. Now through to another fast GT Le Mans car, and again he goes through. Nice spot on the track to get through there, Harry.
Yeah, and great driving there by John Edwards. He saw what was happening there in his mirrors. He made sure he left plenty of room for that prototype to go through. Tucked behind the other one, coming on to the longest straight here.
You're right, he's caught Duval. The leader of the race, and in DPi, has caught Duval. Pla just has to go a little bit wide round the Vassar Sullivan. The Lexus, and now 3 wide into turn 6. But Tincknell can't afford to be conservative here. He's on the ragged edge. Pla's held up again a little bit behind the leading GT Le Mans car of Antonio Garcia. There's a traffic jam in front of him. down towards turn 7. He's got to get the car to the right-hand side. Duval actually might be helping him out here, flashing his lights. He's waking up the drivers in their own personal battles from 3rd, 4th and 5th on down in GT Le Mans, that there's faster cars coming and that the blue flags showing there's a faster car behind you aren't just for the battles that they're in. So Duval working a bit like a snowplow at the moment and just giving Harry the opportunity to pick and choose his spots there. Now the question is, what happens when he gets right on the tail of Duval? Well, Duval's squeaked out a bit and across the line it's 2.2 seconds with 4.5 minutes to go. That traffic, that particular little scheme of traffic, that's gone the way of Mazda, Jeremy.
It has, but as you say, it's still 4.5 minutes remaining, so that's going to be another, what, 3 laps, isn't it? So, crikey, this is fantastic stuff, just tremendous racing here. And Olivier Pla here, he's a little bit unlucky there, I think, with where he caught some of the worst of that traffic, but there's still plenty of time for the same thing to happen the other way around.
4 minutes to go. Still battles going on. Oliver Askew, by the way, has just put the fastest LMP3 lap in of anybody, a 1:41.6. Oh my goodness, so much going on. LMP2, Tristan Vautier has steadied the ship a little bit. Mikkel Jensen's dropped to all of 1.5 seconds behind. As Ollie Pla picks his way through this traffic. It's just a 1.8 second gap. What do we say in endurance racing, multi-class racing? Traffic giveth, traffic taketh away. You can gain a second, lose a second. It can happen in a blink of an eye. Somebody doesn't see you, you bang wheels, you're off the circuit.
Look, and we're on board another 24 BMW. Look, he's right with the Corvette again. 2 laps ago, it's 4 seconds, the margin between them.
That's for first and second. Garcia in the yellow Corvette, and Jonathan Edwards in the black BMW as they go onto the start-finish line. And they're in GTD traffic as well. The 2 Porsches, the FAF machine, right there as well. At the front of the field, Bill Oberlin desperately wanting to stay within the white lines. He's holding on to that 4-second lead from Brian Sellers in 2nd place. 96 blue and yellow BMW from red, white and black number 1 Lamborghini from Aston Martin Vantage. Ross Gunn in 3rd position. Those are the biggest gaps in the top 3, 4 seconds and 7 seconds. I don't think there's 4 seconds and 7 seconds between any of the other top 3s, to be honest. Quite extraordinary at the moment. 0.2 of a second. John Edwards now behind Antonio Garcia in GT Le Mans. Colin Brown has dropped a little bit, 1.7 seconds, as Felipe Fraga has maybe timed this to perfection with his Michelin tyres. What performance has anybody got left now? Mazda lead by under a second, coming round with 1:40 to go. It will not be white flag this time around. Or will it? No, it's not. It is. It's white flag, but only just by about a couple of seconds. 3.4 miles to go. Wow, that was right on the edge. The white flag was held down. The countdown clock, they're doing 31s. The best lap they've done is a 31. They're doing 33s at the moment. It was about 1 minute 28, 1 minute 29. So absolutely correct showing of the white flag. 3 miles now. Traffic. Pla still trying to get on terms. Tincknell still hasn't got past Loic Duval. He's right with them now. He's going to have to make a decision here. Goes round the outside, sweeps round the outside, and then to the inside of one of the P3 cars. That's the Riley, I think, as they go through the outer loop and into turn 6. Loic Duval, that was very fair driving by Loic Duval. Stayed to the inside with the leaders coming, and he'll pull to the right again, coming out of the toe of the boot on this, the final lap. Under 2 miles now to go. Loic Duval, chapeau, really fair driving. They'll be disappointed. Blew the pit lane red light. That's took him out of potentially being in this battle because he had more fuel and would have been able to turn it up to the max. The last time we were at the Sailing 6 Hours of the Glen, it started what we called the summer of Mazda. We're in the autumn of Mazda's Imsa career in DPi, but they win again at the Glen. Harry Tincknell takes it to the line and off right at the end for the 0-1. Kevin Magnussen out of 5th position. It's Tincknell, Pla, Albuquerque. So Mazda, Acura, Bill Power in GT Daytona. Turner BMW win GT Daytona from Paul Miller Racing, who replaced an engine overnight to take second. And Harter Racing Team on the podium again in 3rd with Ross Gunn bringing that one home. Corvette and Antonio Garcia get the checkered flag by just 0.8 of a second ahead of Edwards, and Conor De Felipe has gone through into 3rd. So Nick Tandy couldn't hold on for Corvette. And in LMP2 by a second, Tristan Nunes brings the Win Autosport number 11 car home. What a weekend it's been for them. All kinds of spins and issues for Mikkel Jensen and the rest of the PR1 Mathiasen Motorsports number 52. Guy Smith in 3rd for United Autosports. Yeah, Magnussen doesn't finish, so it will be Kobayashi and the Allied Cadillac in 4th, Derani and the rest of the Whelen Engineering team in 5th position. So Fraga held off Brown in LMP3, Riley caught Riley in the top 3 there, and Mazda have won. Mazda have won. I'll say it again, Mazda have won. Speed, consistency,